Wontumi other police cells amade channel. What is the backstory beyond it happened 2025? E de enema bi na asisinti ama Wontumi abeduru say amemedwen say case no. It's a very big case. Obia catch us say Wontumi answer na nyasem bia kan say you just say to so oboa. Why am I saying so? I'll prove to you in this video. I'll give you a lot of videos. I'll give you a lot of backstory. I'll give you what nobody has told you yet. And I'm there on the critical analyst channel. When say had a kasi fa pen say na hu say shemensa say na say dwuma no e na beye. But let me first apologize to you. And me delay ma catch am samanti me mapum wodi ya me kakra to mo fan cheme. But matena se ne de na matena se all the exclusive backstory. Ye Wontumi abeduru see no. We didn't have on the critical analyst and make sure so best subscriber my most subscriber no click bell notification in the video be tuma obehu na watimi ahwe the video o hwe wi a make sure so be ja comment in the comment section shoko see where I want to see we are no akọ app any Play Store I want a pan rate ewo ko download na afedi udwuma fasan discover fie and no bebo the place I been the best of rate for more than remitting platforms no rate in yama no click na the do udwuma yenkoso enra. And a breaking news around 4. A buyer said, Wontumi please not guilty to all 7 charges in fresh mining case. Granted 10 million bail. I'm reading my joy online story name and say, and then no day saying a story in it here, but backstory in any baby. I mean, I'm a day bro. It's me the Belmont. By every day and no say. Ashanti regional chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Boasiako, popular known as Chairman Wontumi, has pleaded not guilty to all 7 charges leveled against him and 4 others over illegal mining activities in the Tano Nimire Forest Reserve at Samaboy in Western Region. No to Corona Mabodi no Samaboy. Ebe hiamribi. Noted to Samaboy noted to. This comes just hours after he appeared in a separate case earlier today, where he was placed on a stop list and granted 15 million cedis bail after pleading not guilty to 6 mining related charges. There's a Wontumi case na emienu. Oko first court no ke ka say Wontumi to confirm the passport to mbra and he granting a bail of 15 million cedis. First case no. Or say, Wontumi appeared before the High Court on Tuesday, October 7, 2020, alongside representatives of Akonta Mining Limited. Another associate accused of mining in an unauthorized mining operation and environmental destruction within a protected forest reserve. Note again, say, almost Wontumi come mining what Tano Nimire Forest. Na mrem no come mining ye no. Na oni enkrata say so this edwuma no. Me say mu note keep with Samaboy Tano Nimire illegal. Say he is accused of, among other, destroying 13 hectares of land in Tano Nimire Forest. Yankoso say after hearing submission from both prosecution and defense, Wontumi, the court admitted Wontumi to bail in the sum of 10 million, with 2 sureties, one of whom must justify with landed property. Na about they say asasibia esiwa ebedi ani behu justify. You kabuma Wontumi bail no abeye 25 million cedis. In the 2 cases, no, first one is 15 million, second one is 10 million. 7 charges not on the count. 1, I'm saying undertaking a mining operation without a license. That is 1. 2, undertaking a mining operation without a license. I don't say count 2. Count 3, undertaking a mining operation without license. Ebi wa enye Wontumi nkasa na ebo na ebo other people. Me jeni na wa video ni be wadodo. But 4, felling tree in forest reserve without giving authority. We chen yegu aban ma Wontumi so timi dis edwuma no. Abatement of an authorized felling of tree. And kofobi ko chen ye bi anke se Wontumi timi stop one stop him. E ka abatement a. You go say to 2 kodi boni bi. Na Wontumi say wo shema na say wo ko shema chi me kobo okro no me oka. Ana wo driving me mam de kobo okro no ni law ne fa abatement, abeding and abatement. 6, erecting structure in the forest reserve without giving notice. So wakobo in chenkubi and a dime and wabonu and tabo dime do room by my Wontumi. 7, abatement of authorized erection of building in the forest reserve. It's no any idea. 15 million. That is it. But people say, I day na Wontumi be say the key testimony I have. My Chairman Wontumi abedu ano. A statement on one ya bring. CNE actually on Wontumi on the 30th of September 2022. CNE on the 30th of September 2022, I want to Akonta mining story in the beginning free. Erastus Asaredonko a poison for gold. No, an investigation ko who say free be at 20 tailings. We are mining activities you so fina can baby a wujegu na Erastus ko who say omu jegu Tano river nim. Into the chan or the drone footage ko say company na won ko somebody so ya Akonta Mining. Yen answer him say how so mining ya Akonta Mining there. E Wontumi dia. And here in a report no yan ko ba unim Ghana politics ni ade ko Wontumi is powerful no matter how you look at, very influential in the MPP. E koba. Now on the 30th of September 2022, almost 3 years ago no. Anna then Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Samuel Abujinapo, released this statement to be. Now, later Meka said this statement is seminar and or release this statement, but said there was a chain reaction. Secretary Babeka said wildfire, and it might be blazed to 2 Wontumi. Then a 2 Wontumi. Young kind statement to say the attention of the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources have been drawn to publications about certain operations by Akonta Mining in the Tano Nimire Forest Reserve in the Antwi West municipality of the Western region. Also, several publications. The publication was from Erastus Asaredonko. Second paragraph was say records available to the ministry show that while Akonta Mining Limited has a mining lease to undertake mining operation in some part of Samaboy outside the forest reserve, the company has no mineral right to undertake any mining operation in the Tano Nimire Forest Reserve. Or say, Wontumi won krata so timi to from a good year or Samaboy baby. But forest reserve na Tano Nimire only any right to so called Rasa Forest Reserve name. What an buying and accusing is our destroy 13 hectares. Third paragraph say our records show that Akonta Mining on 25th August 2022 applied for a mining lease to undertake mining operation in the said forest reserve by ministerial directive. All recognizance, prospecting or exploratory activities in forest reserves in the country are suspended except in exceptional circumstances. Although this directive does not affect mining in forest reserve, Akonta Mining's limited application has not been determined. This is MPP's Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Samuel Abujinapo. And I can say, those say Wontumi 25th August 2022 apply so when you obey a prospecting bill of South Forest Reserve. No, young granting no. Sa permission no. Or say, Akonta Mining's application has not been determined. Accordingly, any alleged activity being undertaken by the company in the forest reserve is illegal. And here it was not alleged because Erastus has proven of documented evidence. Last paragraph must say, the Honorable Minister for Lands and Nature has therefore directed the Forestry Commission to forthwith ensure that the company does not carry out any mining operation in the forest and to take the necessary action against any person found culpable in this matter. Notice a Forestry Commissioner Bem, Mebo Bibiama. Minister need this statement by na OccupyGhana. And so sorry. OccupyGhana has no release this statement on the same 30th September 2022. No, there should be any titaho. A buyer and OccupyGhana said just 2 days ago on 28 September 2020, we wrote an open letter to the president to ensure that the law, namely the Minerals and Mining Act 2006 as amended, is enforced without fear and favor, irrespective of whose horse is God. Today, we have seen a press release from your ministry stating that you have directed the Forestry Commission to halt mining operations of a company named Akonta Mining in the Tano Nimire Forest Reserve. You state that the basis for this directive is that the said company is undertaking the mining operations without a mining lease. I say, while congratulating you on this step, we would be taken aback if that was all you did. If the company is engaged in the activities that you allege, then it is committing an offense that is punishable by fines and prison term between 15 and 25 years. OccupyGhana omo lawyer ba akupa he esankomo say Wontumi ade na wo sofa ne se prove say ye no kra Wontumi betimi akọ jail 15 to 25 years to be aka to say Wontumi ade nya no kra oboa. This is my business. Or say according to section 99(2)(a) of Act 73 provide a person who without a license granted by the minister undertakes a mining operation contrary to provisions of this act, commits an offense and is liable on summary conviction to a fine of not less than 10,000 penalty unit and not more than 15,000 penalty unit, and to a term of imprisonment of not less than 15 years and not more than 25 years. Wontumi can go to jail. Can. When case a war can. There's a conditional clause. To Occupy Ghana, the statement we buy. Now Occupy Ghana, this statement in the buy no. 10 days later, and the BBC see a two Wontumi. OSP, as with this statement by me say, John Jinapo, and a year Wontumi way. That singular statement brought out a lot of things. Tobona video in the course say. The Office of the Special Prosecutor has commenced an investigation into suspected corruption and corruption-related offences in respect of illegal small-scale mining. The investigation targets some officials of the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources and the Forestry Commission. It also targets the activities and expenditure of the dissolved interministerial task force on illegal mining, especially in respect of the seize and management of excavators, machinery, road equipment, and gold nuggets. Professor from Boasiako committee accused them of excavators near the charge be see massam no what's so shim but the statement no we because I didn't Eugene kai to let's read this systematically. Third paragraph no e won here me no or say the investigation further targets the activities of Akonta Mining and other companies, nationals of foreign countries allegedly involved in illegal mining and corruption and allegations of corruption and corruption-related offences against some MMDCs and political officials. Signed, Kiseja by Special Prosecutor 10th October 2022, September, and the 30th, and the 31st September, the 10 days after, no SPCUCA say, or your investigation, what targeted Wontumi. So this is how Wontumi's case started. Now let's go to the facts and the videos. 2022, after a Rastos video, no, summer boy for you, sorry, so Wontumi kwa monye Galamsey, Mukromo. Kasa will join you. That time, no near reporter, Richard Kodonyako, and I had the Central Regional Reporter, Western Regional Kokasa, say, and Omukai.
Now, the concerned Samra Youth Association have threatened to oppose Akonta Mining Company should they venture into Samra to mine. The group is warning that they will not watch their community continuously be exploited by individuals for their personal gains to the detriment of the people. According to them, they have paid indication that the Akonta Mining Company and 3 other companies that are engaged in illegal mining are still planning to continue their illegality despite resistance from the community. These were reviewed at a press conference the group held in Samra. My colleague Richard Kodonyako joins me on Zoom with details of the statement they released at the presser. Kojo, you have the statement. What are the issues that they are raising?
They say that the shooting incident, which left several homes destroyed, has not seen or had justice. And farmers whose lands were wiped out haven't seen justice, likewise the youth who got shot. And their intelligence indicate that the unscrupulous activities which are aimed at making their community a ghost town with their life and well. Akonta Mining and its compatriots are also around and will set off to invade the Tano Nimire Forest Reserve on the 4th of this month.
Any indication of what they intend to do once they know this?
So to the Akonta Mining, it is their hope that all the people of Samra are ready to face them squarely anytime they make any attempt to step into the forest to mine. The people of Samra, according to them, will not at any time allow those greedy ones to set their community on fire. And Samra youth and the entire community are never against mining, but are against illegal mining, such as the operations of Akonta Mining and others. And according to the coordinator on the notice of application for Akonta Mining, part of the Samatex company's factory, half of the Tano Nimire Forest, River Tano, cocoa farms, residential or human settlements are being given out as concessions, which they find disturbing.
Are there any other issues they brought up aside that?
They say that the roads in and around Samra have been left in a deplorable state for far too long. An attempt to bring the attention of the state too has proven futile. And Samra has, over the past 5 years, left the cocoa production in the country, yet they do not benefit from any of the cocoa roads contracted or contract that are awarded.
Okay, so that's my colleague Richard Kodonyako there with details. We are trying to speak to the president of the association, Emmanuel Labi, who has joined us on phone now. Emma, grateful that you could join us. Now, we know that the state agency, which is responsible for mining, the Minerals Commission, has taken steps to ensure that the Minerals Commission, and together with the ministry, ensure that the Akonta Mining does not have access to that Tano Nimire Forest you're talking about. What do you have now to make you feel that the company is planning to come to site tomorrow?
Officer, good evening to your wonderful viewers this evening. The association and its own intelligence have gathered some form of information that tells us that Akonta Mines is preparing to come back to Tano Nimire Forest and mine. Akonta Mine as a company have operated within Samraboy's environment for far too long, and the association have also monitored every activities of this company. We've realized that most of their machines or excavators, which the government asked them to withdraw out of the forest, are outside the forest door, but some more machines are coming in within our environment. And so we know that as an association, we don't want to come out to the ruling government or the government in power to call Akonta back to the rightful means, because we realize that if we don't get this out, since they are still operating within the off-reserve, they are likely to go back to the forest reserve. That is why we need authorities to act fast, because it's the same intelligence that we picked some months ago, and we realized Akonta had the opportunity to mine within the Tano Nimire Forest.
Well, but if you are seeing machinery in the area, a lot of companies are operating in there with those machineries. Why are you pointing out only to Akonta Mining to say that those machineries are their own, and therefore if you don't raise the red flag, they are likely to enter the forest?
Thank you very much. We knew it is not only Akonta Mines as a company working within Samraboy's environment, but we realize that if you look at the press statement, it is not, we are only not.
Yes. So that is Samraboy. You had the video quantity. Tobo na video ni. Sa video ne ba out no. Conference bi koso kofodia. The conference koso kofodia engineer Kenashigo was start kon Galamsey ku for the time and next time do go nyap to kudro didi na temo fe duzada na Mahama to so ka Galamsey asem no. Ekobusa president ku for say case we yaba. Ye kra ye the petition akoma police here so monchi Wontumi. Enti president Akonta Mining asem na kosi sen 2022. I want to for the famous statement way.
Let me respond briefly to the chairperson on the issue of illegal mining. I want to assure him and all of you that Akonta Mining is not engaged in any illegal mining anywhere in Ghana as we speak.
Yes, as we speak, as if a crime was expiry date. As we speak, I say Akonta Mining yet illegal mining. Omuye conference almost a backfire abano. And I don't Jinapo granting interview on Join You say President Kufuor sana no person can.
The president was responding to a request by the chairman of this Catholic Diocesan Priest Association Biennial Conference, Mr. Ken Ashigbe. Mr. Ashigbe, in his remarks, had appealed to the president, called on the president to speak to the issue of Akonta Mining. And so the president sought to respond and assure the conference, and for that matter, the country. So the president's comments were actually an assurance to the conference and the country. And what was that assurance? The president said, as he spoke, and by that as at yesterday, Akonta Mining was not engaged in any illegal mining activities in any forest reserve. And indeed, the president went further to assure the country that under his instructions, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources and the Forestry Commission is actually cordoned off to the 294 forest reserves in our country. He said that as well. You know, I mean, for some reason that is be taken out of the discourse. But the president gave a further assurance that not only is Akonta Mining not engaged in illegal mining activities in any forest reserve, as he spoke yesterday, but additionally, he had put in place measures, his government had put in place measures to protect the 294 forest reserves of our country from attacks from illegal miners and illegal mining activities. So the president was not speaking about the wrongdoing or otherwise of Akonta Mining in the past, the criminality or otherwise of Akonta Mining in the past. He was not commenting on what happened in the past. He was giving an assurance of the state of affairs as at the time he was addressing the conference. And that is a statement of fact. And for me, I think that the president should be commended, the government should be commended, that we've gotten to a situation where we can confidently say that we are protecting the forest reserves of our country. That's essentially what the president said.
Yes. Na wankana sa na ne opeso kan kra affect OSP case etana case na OSP affect OSP case ni bibia ene ade kana shigwe bu anye so join news friend no no so di we tum.
Let's go on to the phone lines now on Zoom and speak to the convener of the Media Coalition Against Galamsey, Ken Ashigbe, who has been at the forefront of the fight against Akonta mining in the Forest Reserve. Now, thank you so much, Doc, for joining us. What do you make of the President's defense of Akonta mining?
Very much. Well, he said this thing in response to a comment I made. I was a chairperson at the Congress. And so in making my comments, I had mentioned to him that I could not miss the opportunity of him being there and then the Catholic bishops also being present. Because remember that the Catholic Bishops' Conference had also reiterated their point that Akonta mining, having been involved in that illegality, needed to be arrested, investigated and prosecuted. So I had mentioned to him that I could not miss that opportunity to, remind him of that particular one and the fact that it needed to be dealt with. So it was in response to the comment I had made that he, in ending his remarks, he then says that Akonta mining were not involved in any legality as we speak. So for me, the emphasis was as we speak. But remember, when Erastus did that expose in 2022, the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources also issued a statement in September 2022, and the Minerals Commission collaborated that also in October 2022. And so if the president is talking about an illegality happening as we speak, maybe that might not be there, but there was an illegality that happened in 2022. An illegality that resulted also in the people of Samraboy clashing with the workers of Akonta mining when they wanted to go into the forest reserve. Were they going into those reserves to go and pick snails, or were they going to harvest some herbs? Definitely, they were involved in some illegal activity, either prospecting or mining, which the minister who is responsible for that sector says they did not have a permit for. The Minerals Commission, is the independent regulator for that, also collaborated with. And so it is important to put that in perspective. If the president is referring to an activity that is taking place as we speak, that is not what our petition is about.
Interesting. Just yesterday, the youth of the area issued an ultimatum that they do not want Akonta mining again in the area. But we understand that you have also petitioned the Inspector General of Police to prosecute directors of Akonta Mining Limited in the first letter to the police. Tell us why.
So, when the minister issued a statement and the Minerals Commission collaborated it, after Erastus's expose, we then petitioned the Attorney General and the IGP, and we copied His Excellency the President, we copied the Speaker of Parliament and the Chief Justice. And the Attorney General responded to us saying that, by law, they cannot initiate any investigations on their own volition. It was left to institutions like the police and other allied organizations, I'm sure the Office of Special Prosecutor, who could do that. And so, so far as they were concerned, they could not respond to our petition in that form. And so it was left to the IGP. And so when the letter went to the IGP, he responded to us asking for a meeting on a particular date, but he postponed that meeting. But to date, that meeting has not been called. So this reminder to the IGP was to remind him that we were still waiting for that meeting. And the fact that so far as we are concerned, we have not seen any arrest of the directors of Akonta mining, neither have we seen any investigation or prosecution taking place. And so far as we are concerned, we believe that the minister and the Minerals Commission, had ample evidence that could lead to a prosecution. And so it was important that in the spirit of a country that is in a crisis, where currently now we are seen as water vulnerable, it was important that this prosecution took place. So that's the reminder we have sent to the IGP, and we are hoping that the IGP would call us and then would also take action for that investigation to take place. The good thing is that we've seen the OSP, start processes, and we hope that the statement of the president talking about what was happening as we speak would not dissuade the OSP from investigating and ensuring that if any corruption or corruption-related activity has taken place, the director of Akonta Mining and their officials will be prosecuted.
Okay, but just in 30 seconds for me, what the president has said, do you foresee it having any impact on what's happening in terms of work on charging directors of the Akonta Mining for what they did in the Tano Nimire Forest?
It is if you and I, the media, if the OSP, if the police, renege on their duties, but we need to. Well, maybe let's give the president the benefit of that. He was talking about activities as we speak. We know crime has no time bar. So we are talking about crimes that were committed in 2022. And so this should not, impact on anything. And we would keep on, sending reminders to the IGP. We will hope that the OSP will do its work. Remember that myself, Martin Pebu, and two others also petitioned the IGP. We are waiting for feedback on them by the end of this month. So far as we are the people who are sovereign, do not relent. We should ensure that it does not matter whose ass is God. If anybody falls foul of the law, that person should be prosecuted, no matter what anybody says.
Yes. Now, Yanya Kenashigwe, after one money, and this phone and a mood natum. And then was started Galamsey Toka. Or Kahona Wontumi case, Nabi says, the Munima. Munyas had na moyen, unim bibi a kind young case in so. Now, on also about fire, me catch in the first statement I'm reading on the 30th September say, Minister Nakasa Forestry Commission, NBB, report no more the buy, then a court report no. Advancements, any the then Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Samuel Bujina, Kaso Chairman, report to the Kusi say no kind.
You issued a statement recently when the Akonta Mining thing came. Very, very strong statement listing a host of things that you instructing, if I'm not mistaken, the Forest Commission to act. Was it Forest Commission or the Minerals Commission, one of them, to take? What's an update on that?
Well, first of all, as you know, the forest estate of our country by law are governed or are regulated by the Forestry Commission. The body, the legal, constitutional body that has the mandate for the management, exploitation, and preservation of the forest estate of Ghana is the Forestry Commission. And therefore, when a matter affects the forest reserves of our country, the body that acts on it has always been, is, and will always be, unless we change the law, the Forestry Commission. And so as minister, I got the Forestry Commission to conduct investigations into this matter. They presented their report to me. I know that there's a petition before the Criminal Investigations Department. And therefore,
by the civil society.
Yeah, so I forwarded the report of the Forestry Commission to the Interior Minister for onward submission to the Ghana Police Service. The police themselves have written to me for some information of a sort, and I provided them with that information. I keep making the point, the matter to do with Akonta Mining, with the greatest of respect, I brought it up to the national discussion. In all modesty, Akonta Mining, it was because of the statement I made and the statement I put out there, which is why it became such a major national topical issue. And it is because, really, with I should say this with all the honesty I can marshal. We do this work with all the sincerity that we can marshal at our disposal, and we deal with these matters without fear or favor. And the chiefs should fall where they may, and that's exactly what I did.
Yes, it would see the minister well, or no crown this report on the evidence. So come on, police CID. It won't to me case no. It's na Attorney General Becca said docket in 2022 no enuni. This is the backstory. What nobody is telling you. Docket in Israel. Meaning that whatever evidence the minister presented in 2022 formed the greater part of whatever Wontumi is suffering today. What is that here? So that is the chronological event. See, because now CID investigate evidence. First commission or the command because that are media coalition against Galamsey led by engineer Ken Ashigbe a petition police or Wontumi based on these illegal mining activities. So that is that. The president the coup for the some no bekano e won the free as we speak, Yes, that is the background. Now finally video amedeba man Wontumi lawyer the venerable and the appear kube no kasa ni enti na se Wontumi dem e ma de che no say e no kan.
We want to thank you for being with us through the day. Fortunately for us, we've been able to secure bail for Chairman Wontumi and his company and the other accused person. They have been admitted to bail on various sums and justification. We are working on executing the bail conditions. We are currently working with the registrar of the court. Unfortunately, at this time, we are not able to secure the release of the accused persons for reason that the police will have to go and inspect their houses, the sureties, the houses of the sureties, and come back and give a report before the registrar could execute the bail bonds. So for now, bail granted in both cases. What I have to explain is that there is one case pending before Court 4, Criminal Court 4, and another pending before Criminal Court 1. We secured the bail and its associated conditions in the morning, only be slapped with another case that we needed to go to Court 1 to prosecute it. So the charge sheet as given to us was around 2 o'clock. So the court has just finished with the second one and also granted bail. Meeting the bail conditions at this present time will be difficult, although we have the sureties and we have also brought the documents. We hope that tomorrow we'll be able to finish and then secure the release of the accused persons. We thank you very much for your time, and we hope that everything will be fine tomorrow.
So what do you make of the bail condition, particularly with the first and the one with the court?
It is a general situation that we have to address as a country. You see, the Criminal Procedure Code, Section 96(4) says that bail should not be used as punishment of the accused persons. We did that the articulation in court. The court took into consideration that admonition of the system. But because the precedent doesn't favor otherwise of treating accused persons fairly and without consideration of what they have alleged to have committed, and also making it difficult for them to be able to discharge their responsibility to secure the bail. It's a national issue that we need to discuss and not accept. It's becoming too many that accused persons are being subjected to a difficulty of finding value for properties that will secure their bail. It is a national issue that we need to discuss. I'm not sure that there's anything untoward, but there is a process that we need to affect and make sure that it serves the purpose for which the law was made. And in any case, as I said in court, the Attorney General is also the Minister of Justice. So he should be in a position to protect the civil and liberties and rights of accused persons, because the position of the law is that accused person is deemed to be innocent until otherwise proven, and therefore we have to also protect their human rights even when they are labeled as accused persons until they are pronounced guilty.
Yes, answer number konenura. Chairman. Osim. That's Wontumi for you. What a character. Minimum so comment, man sana comments and subscribe me. I click bell notification. The video be to man. Ubehu na wetimi ashebi. We are now we just comment in the comment section. I call app any Play Store. I want to be who pan with the best platform. I've been the best rated. They are sending this Ghana. If from you, say to me here, Ghana, so here. Bye bye.